Hi there, my name's Toby Bolton and I'm the founder of the zkdid Zero Knowledge Decentralised Identity open source standard protocol, which I have started to try and promote and get feedback on an idea which has been building in my mind for some time. I'd like to give a background of who I am and try and present to you the person behind the project and the reason why the project means so much to me and why I hope it will mean as much to you when I've explained it better, because I think it's a little bit of a strange topic and it's a bit complicated, and it feels like it has a bit of a double-edged sword, because when someone starts to talk about digital identity, I think I can include myself in this, that it makes me feel uncomfortable, because a lot of us are worried about how this power can be abused. And what we're starting to see right now around us is technology advancing at such a pace that I think it's a really important discussion to consider how we can control these technologies and how we can put in place safety valves which can protect you and me and my children. I have to admit, I think it's more the concern for my children that I've decided to take this project so passionately, because if I didn't have children, I may be a bit more selfish and say, well, you know, the world is in such a mess, what can you do? But I actually think there is something we can do, and it's working together, but it's also using our minds to try and understand what is actually going on, and to use the tools that we have in society to make our society better, to make our reality better. A lot of people want to fight the system and they want anarchy, and I don't know, people are not happy, so of course people want to fight the system. But I believe the only way we can really get what we want is by working towards those goals and using the tools that we have. And I know it seems like it's an impossible task to do that, but I believe we have opportunities in our hands, and technology which is advancing, that we can use to better the world and, you know, the lifestyle and reality that we all live and share. A lot of people are concerned that not everyone feels the same, and I can appreciate that, because it does seem like there's some kind of negative aspect to what we live every day. Some would call that democracy, and for sure there seems to be problems which I believe we can try and tackle if we work together as people, with technologies which are starting to be built around us, and technologies that if we use to our advantage can help us a lot. So I'm going to start to put videos out, which I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't totally comfortable about doing this, but I think for me to push this project and to promote this project, you need to know who the person is behind it and understand why it's important to me. And if you get to know me a little bit, you'll realize that my intentions are really coming from my heart. Oh, I've just touched my new mic. I just bought a new mic for just for these videos. That's how serious I'm taking it. But going back to what I'm saying, This is important to me because I've got a couple of kids, and if I didn't have those children, then maybe I'd say, you know, the world's in a mess. People can't seem to pull things together. Why should I care? But luckily for me, you know, I have two beautiful daughters in my life. They're not that old. One of 5 years of age and one of just only 4 months. But they bring a lot of joy into my life and they give me purpose. And one thing that I see from them is that, you know, we have to, it's our duty to protect not just our children, but other people's children and everyone, each other. It's our duty. I think freedoms are worth more than money. So one thing I'd like to say about my intentions with this project is I'm not here to make money, and this is not going to be about launching a token and trying to pump the value of a token. What I've realized with what I'm looking at is that it's you who has the value, or it's my interaction with the internet which has a value, and it's being extracted by centralized systems which are basically using us as the product and then taking our information and selling it on as well. So we are like their product, and yet we give them this product for free. But the issue I've started to notice is with the advent of blockchain technology and this distributed immutable technology, is we are leaving a footprint, and this footprint will grow exponentially. Sorry if I couldn't pronounce my word correctly there, exponentially, because this data is going to continue to connect to more and more things. And when you use the blockchain, you are the identifier, your wallet is. The data will always come back to you. It's like a tentacle of like a mushroom, you know, like tentacles of your brain, neurons, you know, they're pushing out and connecting to everything that you interact with through Web3. And this data is going to be decentralized and could potentially also be public. And so I would like to try and help start discussions and push a project which can help us not only take control and really set a security system in place for technology which could become so powerful in the wrong hands it could literally become dangerous. But I also want to give people, or help, you know, give people the power to own their own data, because it is their data, and hence it's literally, it is your product. You don't have to give it away. And this is what I believe we can use blockchain for. I've worked in computers for about 25 years. I'm in my 40s and I started learning about computers. I taught myself about computers, so I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. But I originally got into computers because I was really into music. Love my drum and bass, and have been DJing, and we really wanted to, you know, get into producing music. And back in those days, so long ago now, 20 years ago, you think, you know, beginning of the millennium, maybe a bit before that, in the end of the 1990s, you know, we were trying to write music with hardware and software, and none of it worked. And to get everything to work, it was like a total nightmare. And in the end, if you could actually achieve this, you found that you gained a lot of knowledge in computers. And I started building computers, going down to Tottenham Court Road on London, where they have the computer markets, buying all the pieces. And I used to make my own computers, and then start building computers for other people. And then eventually, when I moved to Nottingham, I started my own like small little sole ownership IT company where I would be fixing people's computers and then started to build websites. So I've had quite a bit of experience in the IT field, but it's always been self-taught until my mid-30s, when I had a bit of bad luck and decided to go back to adult education, because my education had been really messed up due to having a bit of a crazy upbringing. I've been to virtually a different school every year of my life, and it was a bit weird, but that's just life. And it was actually fun in a way, but at the same time quite intense. And so I did stop school when I was 15, and everything I've been doing since has been self-taught, and I'm quite an active person. But I went back to university to study information computation technologies, and I was doing a Bachelor of Science with honours degree, which sadly I didn't finish. I did 4 years, and I actually stopped because both my parents passed away within a short period of time. But this taught me an immense, it compounded so much information that I've been learning over the years. It was wonderful because I actually realised maybe adult education is the best form of education you can get, because that's when you really want to listen and you really want to learn, and your mind just opens up to stuff because you're finding it so interesting, instead of staring at the screen, listening to a guy shouting at you and just thinking, can't wait to get out of here. I wasn't really into school. But anyway, this has given me a good understanding of what I'm seeing with blockchain and what the technology is. And I know it doesn't really serve a purpose for every tool we use in what some would like to call Web 2. So what I'm spotting is blockchain is a form of identity system which records transactions and stores them in an immutable blockchain, which is decentralized, so very hard to actually take down, and by the sounds of things impossible to delete data. So if this data is not private, then we have created a system which is basically a public data source, which will grow exponentially as it attaches to more and more systems in the Internet of Things. And at the moment it's public, so where we're moving from centralized Facebook, where we sign terms and conditions to join a site and then we give our data away to Facebook for free, or, and have no rights over our data. We're now moving into a situation where potentially we're giving it away to the world on mass scale. And hence, I see this as problematic, and I think many people do, and we want our privacy. And zero knowledge technology is a wonderful, wonderful abstract technology, which we'll talk about more in other videos. I don't know how long I've been talking for, already quite a long time, so I don't want to keep this video on for too long, because I'd like to upload videos from time to time and try and educate people, try and spread a message, and try and let people get to know me and get to know what's actually going on in the project, because there is stuff going on. And I have put this idea of using a blockchain decentralized name system as a mark of trust, which can be connected to a load of different projects, and we can use it as a tool to, like a safety valve. We can use this tool to create a set of rules which, if these systems don't abide to, then they are blocked from using this naming service. And this naming service isn't something you need to go and tell everybody about, because, like your social security number, it's your private business. But in the future, zero knowledge wallets will become very useful, and the government have plans to try and give us, they're offering us a chance to discuss it with them, which I'm going to try and respond to. But whether they really want us to have a choice or not is another question altogether, which is why I believe if people group together, we can actually just build our own system and create a decentralized system, which could be so disruptive it will force many entities to adopt, because they'll realize it's the only system people want because it makes sense. So what I'm proposing is a system which can be a system that the user can control, and basically the user can make money from. I don't want to create a token. I don't want to have anything to do with making money from this project. The whole point of this project is to try and create a system which helps people control their freedoms and not lose those freedoms to a system which could be abused by a centralized authority, because this giant, enormous amount of data which could be aggregated and controlled through an identity system, which can then obviously affect how you receive money and stuff like that, which I'm sure many people have been hearing about, could become quite dangerous, and that is a fact. So I'm probably going to wrap up this video now, and I'm hoping I haven't waffled, because I haven't prepared a thing for this. I've just decided to set a camera up and sit in front of the camera, and this is what I'm going to try and do. And I'm wearing these glasses because they're actually a special pair of glasses which remove blue light from LEDs, which help because I'm having terrible sleeping problems. And the hat, I don't know, I was wearing it earlier, so I decided to keep it on. But I'm not hiding. I'm not trying to pretend I'm some beanie man or anything. I like to be called Tobes. That's generally how people call me. Toby, I always find just a bit uptight, a bit posh. I don't know. Call me Tobes. It's nice and chilled. It's nice to meet you. I hope the video helps, even if it only has a few views at first. I hope I can continue pushing out content and bringing people together to start talking about something that I think can help. And before I sign off, I just do want to say that I'm speaking to some very influential projects which seem to like the idea. So the idea is unique, it seems, and I may be the first person to have discussed using a domain name system, a decentralized domain name system, to use as a protocol to control a zero knowledge protocol. So it's interesting, and there's been some interesting conversations, and I look forward to them continuing, and hopefully we'll, there's a lot going on in this part of the industry, the zero knowledge industry right now, but and there is in the decentralized DNS system, which some are calling blockchain name system, which might be more appropriate. So it's early days, but that's what this video is about. This is video number 1. Thanks very much for tuning in, and I look forward to putting out some more videos, and hope I don't feel too embarrassed after this one. Thanks for tuning in.